the day. My name is Katrina Tawil, and I just want to welcome you and thank you for being part of our National Scrapbook Day event. This afternoon, I'm going to chat with you about borders, and in particular, how to get more out of your border maker cartridges and your border punches than just a standard old heart. There are a lot of things you can do outside of just what the actual design is that I think you will find to be interesting and fun. So I'm going to start with the heart-to-heart border punch, and that's what you see right here. I learned this tip recently from a fellow advisor, and I just thought it was amazing. So if you take two of these and put your points together on your solid hearts and then overlap them just a little bit, you can make a pretty cool design. You'll have a diamond shape with the open shape there where the open heart was, or you can have kind of a flower there out of the solid part. You can also reverse that by putting the hollow points together and then overlapping them just a little bit, and you'll see that you have a diamond out of the solid part and the flower shape is now out of the open hearts. I think I kind of like this one best just because I like that open heart shape. So the gemstone chain is another one that you can do similar. First of all, you can push them together and make it wider than it was, and then secondly, if you spin it around, I think that it makes it look like bats. So if you did this out of, say, black, or maybe you do it out of orange and then put a little layer of black behind it, I think that would be really fun for Halloween. You can also just open it up a little bit and get more of a circular pattern right there, and it'll be kind of fun. So just a couple of, ones that you can just take this and layer them and get something different. Oh, another neat thing, let me show you. Here's a piece of white paper. You can always put a strip of paper or a photo mat or something like that over a portion of it, and it really hides the fact that that's hearts, but it puts a nice little lacy edge trim there along the sides. And so that's something else you can do just to maybe disguise that it's hearts, but give it some uniqueness on your paper. I kind of like this one too. So anyway. All right, and another favorite of mine is using striped or pattern pages as you papers as you cut these out. I know earlier Laura showed you how to use the insert from your paper pack to cut out the dine border punch, but here's another example of that using a paper that had graduated colors from dark to light across it. So you can see it's almost like you've got different colors of cutlery and plates right there. So that's an option. But I really like doing that with this diamond, or the triangle punch, and the triangle border maker cartridge. It's one of my favorites, and you can see here I did it with this blue paper, and this one's kind of hard to see. So this is a pink striped paper, and I just like how that mirrored triangle looks whenever you do it with the stripe. Now, just for reference, when you're doing it, you'll want to do the stripes horizontal as you then put your punch in and go down. And that's what will make it have the stripes this way. So I think that's probably, that mirrored triangle was one of my favorite punches that we've come out with in the last few months, and it is out of stock right now. It was super popular, but we expect to have some more back in August. So if you really like this, you need to let your advisor know so she can be watching for it to be back in stock, and then she'll be happy to tell you. All right, another thing I like to do is to layer these so that they're shadowed. Now, this bronze shimmer cardstock is one of my very favorites. I don't know why, but I guess it's gone so well with a lot of our color patterns that we've come out with this spring. And I guess winter, January was winter, and that's when boho came out, and that was one of my favorites. But I loved this bronze with this other paper, but you can see just against it without something, it would not really pop off very well. So I put the dark or the chocolate color behind it, and that just really gave it a nice layer and brought it off the page and tied it all in there together. And then of course I had to put some green dragonflies on there just to give it some pop. And you know, what's a border without some foam squares, right? So anyway, just add them. Don't hesitate to layer them like that and give them some shadow or some highlights if you use a lighter color behind them, and it'll really work. Okay, now I'm going to share with you a few designs that my mother, Carolyn Moeller, did. She is definitely far more creative than I did. But didn't really want to be on the camera, so she was kind enough to make all these samples for me. So here is the first one, and I just love this. Doesn't this look like dolphins jumping through the waves? Any idea how she did that? Well, I will show you. This is the Climbing Vine cartridge, and those dolphins are the inside parts of that climbing vine. Isn't that pretty neat? So she took the, we have had a couple of wave cartridges over the years. So she took a wave, and then she used her 12-inch trimmer with a decorative blade to kind of give it some texture and look like waves, and then put those dolphins in there. Isn't that great? And then speaking of climbing vine, actually this is one that I did, but I just cut this. I just took my 12-inch, and I think this actually took like 1.5 strips of the border, but I just cut every couple ones and then made it diagonal just to give it a different look. And I'm an engineer, so I'm a little anal retentive about spacing, and I even have little bitty miniature rulers that I have to use for everything. So I started with this goes in the middle, and basically the middle of that is in the middle of my border. And then I put this one up here and this one down here so they were evenly spaced. And then I was able to eyeball kind of how to spread these other ones out to look right. So, but that's the climbing vine, and I just thought it looked kind of good to give it a little twist. Okay, this is made from scraps from the icicle chain. And you can see her note, great for Halloween pictures. And that almost just looked like creepy teeth or something like that. That's what it reminds me of. It could also be spooky icicles or things like that, but that'll be, that's kind of fun. You could use this as a journaling box, or if you made it a little bit bigger, you could hold a photo. This one is made from the infinity chain, and remember that one of these is the infinity and then it makes the chain. So you just simply cut them, and then you can layer them and turn them into circles or flowers, I guess is right. Turn them into flowers. All right, here we have some corners, and this is from the mirrored triangles. And remember, this was our mirrored triangle, so it's just the little negative area, basically the leftovers from when you punch it out. That's that negative area, and just put them on here. So to me, this would be great for, say, a heritage album, and then you could put, a photo in the middle, or you can use it as a journaling box. But just the triangles to me just scream heritage and, memories from times past and things like that. All right, any ideas? These are the leftovers from the gemstone border maker cartridge punch. So here's one of those. You can see how that lays in there like that. So whenever you punch it, you get this roughly 2-inch strip left over, and you can put them together in, you know, you could make it bigger if you wanted to and use more of them, but this would make a perfect little journaling box or for a small photo or something fun. But isn't that cute? I love it. All right. Don't these look like apple cores? I thought they did. We've added some little apples there to it, but can you guess what that is? All right, I'm going to show you. That is the wine border maker cartridge. See, right there. Then, oh, flipped over. Also on this side, and then just cut off the stems. And that way you'll have it solid on one side. And this would be perfect for a harvest trip, you know, going to the pumpkin patch or going to pick apples in the summertime, or bobbing for apples at a party. You could also, maybe if you trimmed it down just a little bit, you could use it as spools of thread. So anyway, some different options there, putting those back to back. All right, and here's another one where we've got the negatives of that gemstone chain. See, there it is in the middle. So this, just punch out a couple of them or a strip on each side of it, and then just move them out on a piece of paper and frame it back. So it's almost like you punched it and spread it and laid them down. And then again, this is another one of those tucking it under the edge strategies, so it takes on a different look. What do you think about that? All right, this is a great example of using two different techniques. One is putting color behind it to give it a different look. So we've got some red here and some blue, but this is also using the negatives from it. So this would be from punching out, in addition to this aqua one, a red and a blue, and then adding those negatives back into those spaces. So I think it really just gives it a true jeweled look to it whenever you add some color behind it. All right, here's another example of using the negatives with this one. And then here's this geometric one and laid over it. And to me, this really makes this pop out and look like a crown. So you could have a Princess Day or something like that. Or it also, to me, could be a mask for, you know, superheroes. I don't know why, that just is what pops into my head. So anyway. Alrighty, we have some more fun for you here. All right, this is a rainstorm. So you've got some clouds up here and then some raindrops. Now these large raindrops are the leftover, the negatives from the inside of the infinity chain. The small raindrops came out of the gemstone. Isn't that fun? We've got more raindrops here on our bridge, some icicles. Now this right here are scraps from the bridge. So you can see the rounded parts come out right there. So you can put the straight side together and have a rounded border, or you can put the rounded sides together and have a diamond pattern. Oops, I just took off one of those. All right, so this is the mirrored triangles. And so you can see cutting it in two different colors, and then you can flip out the colors inside of that mirrored triangle cartridge. That a little closer so you can see it. And then the little diamonds here come from, again, the inside of the infinity chain. It has a little diamond in the center, and that's what is right there between those. All right. This right here is the scraps from the mirrored triangles. You can see right there where obviously that's cut out. Put it together and you have some diamonds. And then this one, scraps from the infinity chain. And actually, here's a little bit better look at that, how you can put that back together, except for the actual infinity piece itself, and makes a nice little wide border there. And then that one's actually from the gemstone. All right, and then here's a special one for you. This is a snake. Can you see that? And the little head for the snake down here. Let's get a little head, put the little eyeballs on there. That is the same as our raindrops. So it's the inside of the infinity. Do you see the fire right here? That is left over from the snake. So the snake came from the climbing vine. And remember, this was our climbing vine. So cutting off the leaf parts of it, you're left with, I guess, just the climbing part. And you can put your little head on there and have a snake. Then you can use your leaves and then distress it a little bit with some ink, and you have a fire to go with your snake for your camp out. And yeah, so that's pretty fun. And just a couple more to show you. This is a bridge, and just welded basically two bridge cutouts together with the climbing vine down the middle, so you can't really see that they're even connected, and you have a really pretty double-sided border. You don't even really think about it being a bridge. So, and then this is the last one. Here's a geometric. So taking out what was left over and just putting them back together just gives it a different look. So anyway. All right. Oh, no, I've got one more thing to show you. This is not from the border maker system or from a border punch. This is from the 12-inch trimmer. But back when the boho came out, I just really loved how boho is just all about mixing together colors and patterns and things like that. And so I wanted to mix in a whole bunch of the boho papers together into a border. And I took the 12-inch trimmer, and the decal blade is probably one of my favorites because it just has that rough edge, looks like you've torn the paper. So I obviously cut the strips different widths and different lengths, and I used the decal blade on some of them and the straight blade on some of them, and then I just layered it on there until I had it all covered up. And so that's just kind of a fun layered border when you want a lot of color and character that you can do using your 12-inch trimmer. And then one final one. This one, you know, we have our double-sided paper, so I just took the 12-inch trimmer and just cut in, you know, a couple inches, and then folded it over, and I've got it layered on top of another piece of paper, so when you fold it over you can see that other one peeking through. So anyway, just a couple extra border ideas, but that is what I have to share with you today. I hope that you've seen some fun tips and designs that interest you and that you will give a shot at making them. And I hope that you've had a really great day scrapbooking and learned some things and gotten some of your memories down on the page. So thanks for watching. Sure do appreciate you.